I saw so-and-so using such and such on their hair, and I was wondering, do you think it'll work for my hair? That is probably the number one question I get asked. And sometimes I 100% know the answer for silver hair. However, those times are very far and very few between. In this video, I want to share what I have learned about being inquisitive, intuitive, and curious about my hair care routine and how I honed in on the best products for my hair. Hi, this is Joli from QuickSilverHair, where we talk all things silver hair. Before I get started, I want to insert this little disclaimer. I am going to talk about influencers in this video. I love and follow many influencers, and I am not in any way trying to be negative towards what we do. That is not the point of this video. Influence doesn't just come from social media. It comes from advertising, brands, television, movies, and more, even our own friends and family. Please understand, this is just something I have learned and I wanted to share to help you navigate this vast world of the beauty industry. Let's get started. When I first went silver and my curls and waves changed, I chased after every influencer I could find and every magic product that they talked about. I bought the new curl line from every new brand and every old one that came out. And I ended up with quite the graveyard of products chasing the perfect product. Why did this happen? I wasn't paying attention to what my hair needed. Influence means the power to affect change in someone else. While influencers are great at sharing new things with us and introducing us to new products and telling us what works for them, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for us. And I fell for this hook, line, and sinker. Also, especially when you're talking about curly hair, it can be so easy to try to chase after a new product because we want our hair to look like what we see in front of us. And just because an influencer has perfect curls doesn't mean you have perfect curls. And secret, nobody has perfect curls. Their curl pattern is not your curl pattern. Your curl pattern is not their curl pattern. You cannot achieve what their hair looks like any more than they can achieve what your hair looks like. One of the issues that we face when we are looking from the lens of being influenced is that we are comparing ourselves to them. If comparison is the thief of all joy, then it is also stealing your authenticity. What do I mean by that? Well, when we compare ourselves or our hair or our clothes or our shape or whatever to someone else, we are taking away from who we are. When we don't meet that standard in our minds, it becomes disappointing. Every time I bought products that an influencer said was magical and it didn't work for me, I ended up with a product in my graveyard of products and disappointed. Remember, influencers are also being influenced. Influence is an outside job. But let's turn that around. Life is mythology. There are seeds of truth everywhere. And being inquisitive is an inside job. And that is the point of this video. Be inquisitive. When you are reviewing advertising, influencers, movies, or whatever, ask questions about what you see. Do you need it? Will it work for you? Do you share a similar hair type? Do you and the influencer share a similar issue? Do you share a similar environment or climate? Does this product contain ingredients that are right for your hair? After that, if you choose the product, be curious. Use the product the way you normally would. Use it the way the influencer did. Follow the instructions, don't follow the instructions, mix it up and experiment. Use it on dry hair, use it on damp hair, use it on soaking wet hair. During the phase of curiosity, take notes and explore. What season is it? What was the dew point for the day? What are the temperatures? What did you use with it? What order did you use your products? How did your hair turn out? What ingredients do you think might be good for you or not? I have a special notebook I found on Amazon and I take notes because I find that when I'm actually exploring something new, a new product line, a new type of product, I need to keep track of what is going on. So I found this little notebook. It's got a magnetic closure, which I love, and then it's got, and it's got a pen holder. But it also has in the corner, in this corner up here, it has a little weather chart. And that helps me remember to write down the weather for the day. It helps me remember that when I'm taking notes and I am documenting that hair day, I remember to say, oh yeah, what was the dew point? Was it raining? Was it cloudy? Was it dry? Was it hot? Because then I know some of the other variables that could be at play. Like if a product didn't work on a humid day, I can then wait for a dry day and try the product again. I'll link this handy little journal in the description below, but I think it's really important to take notes. And I have even filled out tables with ingredients that I suspected weren't working well for me, and then went through products and found, did those ingredients line up with all of the products that didn't work for me? That is how I figured out that glycerin isn't that great for my hair and my environment. And it's how I found out that large proteins like wheat protein and keratin will straighten my hair. So it's not crazy. It's not an insane thing to actually take a scientific approach and be curious and experiment and try things in different ways. Each bit of information you gather gets you one step closer to finding your product lineup that's going to work for you most of the time. When you document your failure and successes, you learn over time why certain things were working or not. So here's a good for instance. I follow Swavy Curly Courtney. I love her. She's wonderful, and I love all the content that she produces, and I love how she takes a scientific approach. She measures her products sometimes, and she really gives it a good experiment. That's one of the reasons why I fell in love with her, because it is something I do as well. I try to be as scientific as I can about approaching new products and seeing how they work for me. Interestingly enough, we have a similar hair type. It's not that different. However, I cannot use the products that work for her. They just don't work for me. It could be she has an oilier scalp than I do. It could be that she has pigmented hair and I have non-pigmented hair. It could be that her hair loves proteins and my hair not so much. So you see that even when you're looking at an influencer and you are understanding the similarities between you, there might be some vast differences between you. So you have to take it all with a grain of salt. Whatever the case may be, I have learned to listen to my intuition about the products that Courtney uses, or any influencer for that matter, and then I go back and I get inquisitive. I look at the ingredients, I pull out my table if I need to, or I remember, some of the specifics already because I've been doing this for a long time. But you get the idea. You can pull out your notebook, you can see if, hey, there's a similar product here, it had similar ingredients in it with a similar purpose, and it absolutely didn't work for me. That might mean this newer product might work better, or it might be it's going to work exactly the same way and it won't work for you. Some tips for exploring. If I suggest a product and it doesn't work for you, go back and think about if you are using enough water, if you're using too much product, are you trying it at the same time of the year I mentioned, or at the same season, climate, etc. If you have a lineup of products and one thing might be the culprit in a less than successful hair day, change one product at a time. Don't change 3 or 4 things at once. You'll never figure it out. Find a shampoo and a conditioner that work for you 80% of the time. For me, it is Scene shampoo and their deeper conditioner. And then only switch out your leave-in or your gel or whatever it is that you're experimenting with, and that way you're only introducing one variable at a time. It's great to try an entire lineup of products all together to experience it, and often they're formulated to do this. But then incorporate and make swaps into your favorite lineup one at a time so you can see how it influences your normal wash day. This will help you to not get so frustrated. My goal in helping you, nothing I say or anyone else says means anything if your hair hates it or you find that it just doesn't work for you. I don't want to be influency. That's not why I'm here. I want to deliver knowledge and solutions and advice to help you apply it to your current lineup or help you find a really good lineup that works for you. The entire point of the work I do is to help you find your best lineup 80% of the time and to help you protect your silver hair from yellowing and damage to keep it healthy and beautiful. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. As always, I've linked everything in the description box below. Join my weekly newsletter to get new content when it's dropped. That's the best way to stay in contact with me. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions on this topic, please leave them in the comment section below. I love the discussions that we have on my videos. While you're down there, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Again, hit that like button if you found this content helpful, and I'll see you next time. Until then, shine on.